Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got another review for you. This time it's Hitman 3 for PS4 and PS5, though we're only reviewing the PSVR version of the game in this video. Hitman 3 can be played entirely in PSVR, so that's what this review is covering. And this review comes from our network site, purepsvr.com. Check them out. The PSVR is in a weird place. It's at the end of its life cycle, but there are no concrete answers from Sony as to what, if anything, will take its place. I still think Sony will eventually announce the PSVR 2, but the signals they are sending since the release of the PS5 are murky at best. Consider that the PSVR started out by recycling controllers from a previous generation, and now with the release of the PS5, we need an adapter to recycle a camera from the PS4. And we're still using those controllers from 2 generations ago. I understand Sony's decision to only dip their toe into the VR realm initially, but now it's probably time for them to either commit or cut their losses. For what it's worth, I think we will get a PSVR 2, and I think it will be great. Sony, if you're listening, make it wireless, and for the love of God, don't forget the bloody analog sticks this time. But what's this? A AAA port of a brand new game? It appears the first PSVR is not yet dead. That's right, we're here to take a look at Hitman 3 on PSVR, so grab those twin ballers and follow me. Aside from a few side missions, the entire rebooted Hitman trilogy is now available to play in VR, making it easily one of the most content-rich VR experiences on any platform. Even if it was only Hitman 3, it would still be great value. And to be clear, you still have to buy Hitman 1 and 2 to play them, but if you do, you can now play them in VR. Hitman 3 has 6 levels that make up the campaign. You'll start out at the tallest building in Dubai before you move on to a sprawling English country estate. After you solve that mystery, you'll treat yourself to a night at an underground dance club packed with sweaty Germans and 11 trained killers looking to kill you, before heading to the rain-washed cyberpunk-inspired city of Chongqing. You'll finish your journey at a winery in Argentina before you arrive at a slightly more linear mission in the Carpathian Mountains. That last mission is a bit of a surprise that I won't get into, but here, the 5 previous missions are designed as large sandboxes with countless ways to complete them. And if you've ever played any of the Hitman games, you'll know what makes them so fun. The many dastardly and often hilarious ways Agent 47 can dispatch his targets makes replaying each mission feel fresh and sometimes even more fun the second time around. Every time I see an electrical outlet that I can tamper with, I wonder what type of shenanigans I can get into now. Honestly, some levels feel like the opportunity to kill your targets is around every corner. There may be a million ways to die, but that doesn't make the game easy. As with all Hitman games, it's all about hiding in plain sight, striking fast, and escaping before anybody even knows that something went wrong. It's a formula that IO Interactive has perfected over the years. I can honestly say that I enjoyed playing each and every mission, and I'm having a hard time picking a favourite. But how does all of that work in VR? It works pretty well actually. It supports the DualShock 4 controller only, as IO Interactive settled on a hybrid motion system that allows for some bare minimum motion controls while letting you use the DualShock 4's analog sticks for free movement. Using the light tracking on your DualShock 4, you can aim your weapons, push open doors, punch out any NPC that rubs you the wrong way, or raise your hands to their throat so you can choke them to sleep. For any of this to work, you'll need to be facing forward while not moving too far to please your forward-facing camera. But veteran PSVR players know the drill. The limitations are known and many, so I won't hit you over the head with them right here. Using the DualShock 4 means you only have one tracked hand, which allows for the aforementioned bare minimum motion controls, but it's pretty awkward everywhere else. By default, your untracked left hand will remain in the vicinity of your right hand as if Agent 47 is holding his very own DualShock 4. I chose to remove that in the settings, meaning that my left hand would only appear when I would attempt an act that would facilitate the second hand, such as choking, using the fibre wire, or running. This did slightly improve the immersion for me, despite some serious disconnects. Like when you're running, the game will simulate Agent 47 pumping his left arm in a realistic running motion, but your right arm is still being tracked by the DualShock 4, so while running, only your left arm is swinging up and down unless you want to manually pump your right arm in rhythm, which I absolutely did. I made it like a Hitman running minigame, and it offered me several minutes of good times, and it's way harder than it sounds. Hitman 3 uses an awkward inventory system. When you have an item in your hand, you'll need to place that item in a circle that hovers around your belly button. This circle expands when you have the item in just the right spot, signifying when you can safely drop the item. This system is similar to most other first-person VR games that, for example, let you drop your pistol in the general location of the holster on your hip. The difference here is that those are typically 360-degree systems, which means your hip moves when you do. With the PSVR single camera, your inventory circle does not move with you, but stays stationary. So if you've moved during the heat of battle, good luck stowing that weapon quickly before the guards see you. I appreciate the developers trying to utilise the motion controls as much as possible, but this should have been one action that they mapped to a button press. I played the game on an original PS4, and it's still one of the best, if not the best looking PSVR games that I can remember. That being said, the pop-in is constant and will be distracting for many players. Empty wine glasses filling up suddenly, and groups of people will double and triple in size as you walk closer. It didn't take away any of my enjoyment in the least, but the graphical issues don't usually bother me much if I otherwise enjoy the game. My last big complaint with the VR version is that the grid that pops up on the screen when you get too close to your boundary is extremely sensitive. I had my camera placed above me pointing down, and that works great for literally every game I own. Until now. I spent an hour trying to get that thing to work, but the grid was either on screen constantly, or at the slightest movement it would pop up. To make Hitman 3 work at all, I had to place the camera below the TV and sit down to play. Not the most immersive experience then. To be blunt, Hitman 3 in VR is clunky as hell with the DualShock 4, but I still grew to love it. I played for hours at a time, and I can say now that I prefer it in VR over not in VR. But with that being said, Sony's brand of VR needs to move beyond this rudimentary control and camera options soon. With games like Half-Life Alyx and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners offering immersive and consistent motion tracking and realistic physics-based combat, these PSVR limits are becoming impossible to overlook. But until then, the Hitman trilogy, and specifically Hitman 3, is a can't-miss title on PSVR right now. And that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it to be of some use. If you did, you know what to do. Go down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and give that bell a little tickle too, so that you're in the know whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye bye.